He's just so embarrassing. I'm glad I'm not an American, a US American. I am privileged that I'm not a US American. Anyone who's got their head screwed on must just see what's going on at the moment. And it's just so embarrassing. How can you cope with that? I really don't know, to be honest, because it's just so embarrassing. That man is making one, fool of himself after another. There he was on the Air Force One. He was saying, "Oh, I've got the best poll numbers ever. Yes, my best poll numbers." No, you're not. You're minus 18 at the moment, hovering around 37% approval rating. It's horrendous. it's people looking in on this, and, from abroad, such as myself and here in France. What the heck is going on? But look on the bright side for the Canadian people. They just voted. They have in the Senate to scrap the tariffs on Canada, and 4 Republicans actually crossed the floor to vote with the Democrats on that. But you see, it's a bit of a symbolic vote, really, because the White House ain't going to follow suit. No, so it was a symbolic vote. Still waiting, really, on SCOTUS, the Supreme Court. See what they say about the tariffs. Whether or not the tariffs will be kicked out, because there's no telling, is there? You see, they make no sense, and they're not legal anyway, because it should be. Well, Congress holds the purse. You've been making those decisions. Hello, Grant Sloan. I hope you're well, my friend. You're just going to get me have a chat. Oh, where's my mouse gone? Oh, there it is. It's not that one. I'm just opening the chat window up on the computer, because I'm on the phone at the moment. There we go. That's off. That's good. So, Grant Sloan, hello there. I hope you're well. And JPT Online. Oil from Denver. Woodworker. Got to play with your wood, didn't you? I've been playing with wood today. I've been making stuff today in the workshop. And tomorrow I'll be back on a job to do a bit more of a porch. Oak-framed porch. Which is looking rather nice. Oh, you're good, Grant. That's nice to know. Hello, Andrew. I hope you're well. Yeah, so Republicans voted with the Democrats, 4 of them, that is. But like I say, it's really just a symbolic vote. So, unfortunately, ain't gonna change much. I suppose it gives a point of view. Mitch McConnell's one of them who voted. I thought he was half dead. Surprised he could press the button. Yeah. So, he was in South Korea. He was in Japan. He said after his meeting with Japan that Japan's going to invest $10 billion on a factory in the United States. And then the president of Japan comes forward and says, "No, we didn't say that." What the fuck? This man literally buries himself and nobody's listening. It's like these people with no teeth, right? They look up and they praise those who got like free yachts. What is it with these people praising the billionaires? They look up to people. And I sort of consider it being a bit like, I don't know, footballification kind of thing, where it's that, like footballers' wives and footballers, they're so fantastic. Yes, they kick a ball in the net and get paid huge amounts of bloody money, like a lot of sports professionals. How do the Jays do? When is that? A lot of sports professionals, and I understand looking up to them for the sport, but making it a part of your life, as in, oh yeah, look at that, I've got a nice new car. Look at that, I've got a Lambo. Oh, shit like that. Or so-and-so's grassed up so-and-so. Someone who's been taunting another one, and it's just like this kind of rabble going on. I'm not interested in that shit. Really not interested. It doesn't change people's lives. Looking up to other people's successes. What about your own successes? What about making some successes for yourselves? Instead of, oh, look at you. Oh, look at you. Oh, look how great they all are. Oh, I don't buy that. I don't buy that for a second. It's pointless. Absolute pointless. Nothing's going from it. Hello, Ian Harbour. I hope you're well. It just drives me absolutely insane. I know it shouldn't bother me, but it does. It bothers me because it's getting worse. You know, football didn't used to be like as bad as it is today. You know, today's so commercialised, and you know they used to have socks that come up to their, past their knees. They were like tights, and shorts that met them. You know, they almost like they joined together. You know, it wasn't so much about the money. The money was always there. What's up with you? They say, I was going to let my dog out. Well, actually, it's not my dog. It's somebody else's dog. It's my son's dog. So I'll take you with me. Did you want to go outside there, Lulu? That's short for Lucifer, by the way. Oh, go on, then. Out you go. Oh, look, it's dark. Oh, scary dark. Oh, blimey, I don't like the dark. So what else is dark is the Trump regime. That's pretty fucking dark, isn't it? And when you consider that SNAP payments could be removed 1st November, people got no money, and it's going to affect about 5 odd million children, and obviously got the adults as well. And then they've got the cost of food through the roof anyway. It's it's not great. The food assistance program, you know, the SNAP. Oh, it's socialism. So is your traffic lights. They stop you getting run over. That sounds like a pretty social thing to do to me. For me, you know. So, yeah. So, Trump has approved a nuclear submarine for South Korea. Are you excited about that? And then obviously you've got, Putin's got his own nuclear missile that can fly for a very long period of time. It could loiter, and all of a sudden it could just come down and blows all to shit. Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Something to look forward to, that, isn't it? You know. Now, they don't seem to value the planet that they're living on anymore. That bit drives me absolutely crazy. I don't understand. Oh yeah, let's burn more coal. It's clean coal. What the fuck? No such thing. Well, Trump and President Xi, have been negotiating on the rare earth, tariffs, whatever. But every single deal that he's talking about isn't actually a trade deal, is it? It's not a free trade deal. It's literally just negotiation of tariffs. But also, it's these are just frameworks, which means there's a shitload more negotiations to be done. The whole lot could fall to pieces. Whereas what Mark Carney's been doing with a variety of different countries, such as Indonesia, Vietnam, God, what else was that? FTA, isn't it? Ecuador as well. I think Ecuador as well. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, there's about 5 or 6 of them. They're actual trade deals that have been finalised. That's a big deal, you know. Like he said, you know, we're just trying to find a new business outside of the United States, new agreements outside the United States, and you know they could surpass what is going to be lost. Hello, Phyllis Harrison. I hope you're well. It's becoming a bit of a daily thing for the moment. That is. I haven't been uploading many big videos. I've only been uploading short videos at the moment, so I haven't actually because they ain't doing very well at all. So I had a period of time they all seem to be doing really well, and all of a sudden it just falls flat on its face. And my subscriber count has gone backwards. I don't know what is it at the moment. Let's have a look. I don't know. I looked. It was about 53,004 or something. What is it now? Has it gone? Is it under 53,000 now? Yes, it is. It's now 52,999. So it's going backwards. You know. I don't know if it's YouTube. Unsubscribing people, or people just unsubscribing, which it could be, and obviously get closed accounts and all sorts of stuff going on there. But my videos aren't gaining any subscribers, so I'm not. If you don't get the views, you don't get the subs, do you? So anyway, that's a different story. So let's get back on point. Laurie Talbot says America needs to stop letting him out in public. Who's seen him speak recently? It's just nuts. Oh, Douglas told, cheers, buddy. $10 Canadian. Mark Garney asked me to send you some beer money. Oh, that's good because it's running out. Oh, thank you very much for that. Cheers, buddy. Garda Leaf sent me. Yeah, I have to admit, Garda Leaf have sent over a lot of people. If it wasn't for Garda Leaf, it'd be even worse. I'll be back to zero. That's what's this one now? This is Demon. It's 12 or 11%. I can't remember. It's strong. It's strong. It lasts a long time though. But you can't drink it quick because obviously you go loopy. But I like the flavour of strong beers. I like Belgian beers and stuff like that. You see, and French beers as well. German beers. Not American beers though. They're too weak. Love the crown given to dump. Oh my giddy aunt. Yo, was it the South Korean president? Oh my god, that was hilarious. That little crown and that was made of plastic or something. I don't know what's going on there. That's nuts. That was really obviously Trump was lapping it up because he likes the idea of having the crown, doesn't he? He saw him in his little jet dropping shit on everybody, didn't we? Wearing a crown. He's obviously quite happy with having a crown. That had to be trolling. That really did have to be trolling, didn't it? You see, when he arrived in South Korea, the people were protesting. No Trump. No Trump, no Trump, no Trump, no Trump. All sort of regimentally lined up they were, with their little signs all the same. They're saying no Trump. People they're angry, and understandably so, because their people were abused effectively. And it's happening all the time. There's oh crikey, an ICE agent. He God, what's his name again? I did write it down. I can't remember where we put it now. Where did I put that? There's an ICE agent. He put a gun to a guy's head, and so bang bang. Now you're dead, kind of thing. No, not kind of. That's exactly what he said. Yeah, lovely geezer. Why are people like that though? Why? I don't understand these people. I think it was Chris Gents. I think it was Chris Gents was the guy who had the gun up against his head. They're doing it more and more and more, and then I'm seeing other ICE agents doing Nazi signalling. All the all that, and I thought, bloody hell. God said to tell you, don't quit. I probably won't quit. I've slowed down a little bit. I have actually got a lot of videos on there to schedule, as in short videos. So I'm still doing those. But I'm going to be putting more videos up on my other channels, because this channel's just literally taken over in many ways. Not because it's bigger, because it's not bigger. My woodwork channel's bigger, but that's been suffering as a result. And then I've got Earth Trifle channels, where it's sort of an earthy channel. We're trying to work out what we're going to do with that one. But they're all close to being woodwork channel's monetized, but Earth Trifle's just about monetized as well. Just got to get the watch time up. So we'll see how it goes. One can fund the other. Oh, you're a breath of fresh air. Oh, thank you very much. Do you know what it is to me though? It's quite easy for me to disassociate myself from it. I can literally cut off from it if I want to, can't I? But living it, I can't imagine it. And I can be quite petty. I can be vindictive. If anyone hurts me or my family and stuff like that, I can be a right bastard. I really can. The things that I would do. And I wouldn't do it to their faces. I'll keep them wondering what the heck is going on. And I would be after them at home. That's me all over. It won't be the first time I've done it. I've had problems with people in the past. And I've basically not destroyed or something stupid like that, but I've made their life a hell. And am I proud of that? No, I'm not proud of it, but it's kind of like, that's what happens, when someone starts attacking your family. It's my job to make sure my family's okay. You got to flip it back at them, haven't you? You know. And it's the same with bullies, and it's the same with Donald Trump. You've got to flip it back at them. You know, people are just so scared to do anything because of, oh, okay, they've got bloody guns, whatever, but they don't, funny, so have a lot of other people. But, you know, it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be with munitions, does it? You know, there are other ways to actually make it impossible for them to operate. I've heard some stories today where some people are putting bananas up the tailpipes and stuff like that. There's better ways of doing that. Polyurethane foam is the best thing to do. It literally expands into the cat converter and everything. It makes it a really expensive job. So you never start it after that. It'll be a complete new system. There's loads of things you can do. Loads of things. And obviously, disabling the vehicles means they can't get from A to B. So that's a good place to start. Truthfully, not trade deals. No, they're extortion deals. They're not trade deals anyway. They're frameworks of a deal with Trump. It's just, we're sort of like the outline of a deal. Then it takes the negotiators, the trade negotiators, to actually do the bidding, to work it all out. You see, all he's doing is we're told, and then you got a trade deal. Don't come over and we'll, you know, and you can actually fluff yourself. But, yeah, he makes it sound like he's the one done all the negotiation. He ain't done nothing. He's just had midnight tantrums on Truth Social. But this, I'm going to put a tariff on the nasty video about tariffs and Ronald Reagan, all those pesky Canadians, and then he will just tariff you. It's petulant. It's not 5D chess or anything like that, you know. But we all know now that he has dementia. After all, why did he get an MRI? He didn't get it for his... what was it called again? Was it this one?
Like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it wasn't that. That was an MRI. Usually to find some foreign matter or something going on in the brain. And clearly not a lot, or maybe too much. Either way, he's feckin' loon. He is. Oh, Pete Hoekstra. Oh my Gideon. Oh, I need to find that clip. I need to find a clip of that. What the hell is wrong with that man? He had a right old hissy fit about that Reagan clip. That Reagan ad. About tariffs. It's kind of funny. Because these people literally make themselves look so stupid. You know, they literally dig themselves a hole. A massive bloody hole. Let's see if I can find that clip while I'm yapping. Let's see what we can find. Pete Hoekstra. Yes, horrible man. Because apparently you Canadians, you're being nasty to the Americans with your elbows up and the boycotts and all that. You know, not buying our whiskey anymore. Shit anyway, why would you want it? So there you go. So it's Pete Hoekstra. I've got to remember to spell it. I've got Pete Hegseth come up. Pete Hoekstra. Get out. I've got... Now, I'm having a bit of problem at the moment. I'm having to use my old trackball because my trusty little MX2 Logitech mouse has it's died. It's not working anymore. I've fixed it about half a dozen times. A little dog will come in there. So I'm having to use a trackball which is old and worn up. And you have to keep cleaning it every 2 minutes. So it's quite hard to move the mouse about. You're in now, are you? Are you happy now? Oh, that's good. Let's put some more wood on the fire while I'm at it. Oh, dear me. While we're up, let's get some more wood on that fire. Oh, I missed the owl. That's what she said. Up a bit, left a bit, right a bit. There we go. Oh dear. Oh, do you know what? If I'm not here tomorrow, it's my COVID jab, okay? It's because, yeah, I've pegged it because I've had my COVID jab. Yeah, I had that today. And I've also had a flu jab as well. I've got 2 achy arms now. Yeah, there. One went in there. Where is it? All the way up there somewhere. Can't see it. It's tiny little needle, but just throbs. And that one all the way back You can't even see it, can you? Where is it? Nope. I can feel it. They put a hole in me. They did. But, yeah, we'll see if I'm alive tomorrow. You know, where was I? Pete Hoekstra. That's what I was going to look for. Pete Hoekstra. H-O-E, if I remember rightly. S-T-A-R, is that right? I think that's right. Ugh, my giddy aunt. He's not a looker, is he? Up alive, that came up on my screen, it did. You know, his little bald head. At least he ain't got a comb over. I suppose that's one thing. Hoekstra, yeah, let's spell it right. Right, I want to see what he said. What has he said? That's in the videos. What did he say? Oh, a recent one, don't I? We need to do the old filters. Alright, where are we? Oh, could it be that one? Oh, is it that one? Oh, that might be that one. Let's try some of that.
Reportedly lashed out on Ontario's trade representative at an event in Ottawa.
Ah, that's the one, isn't it? Let's put that over here. So get on that screen there. And I'll turn you around, shall I? You spin me right round, baby, right round. There you go. Oh! Oh, do you want to look at her? Or him? Yeah, let's have a bit of both. See what they say. I think that's the one.
Earlier this week.
Yeah, sources telling CTV News there was a, quote, unpleasant exchange between Hoekstra and Trade Representative David Patterson. This happened on Monday. They tell us that the ambassador hurled insults and swore over Ontario's anti-tariff ad that ran in American markets during World Series games and others. President Trump also called off trade negotiations because of this. We've talked about this several times before, announcing an additional 10% tariff on Canada for not immediately pulling the ad.
I want the actual clip. That's not the clip. It's just that bit's just news. I need the clip. Oh, Steve McGowan said I got a coupon for
this episode, I want to talk to you all about
I hit news now. Let's go. Let's find it on there. Pete Hoekstra. Actually, I might be better off looking on TikTok. Let's have a look on there.
Right there was them.
Go away, you. Go away, Ben. Let's have a look on there. Pete Hoekstra. I don't know if it's the right. No, that's 13. No. What a new one. 8 hours ago.
Come on, Ambassador. He's a guy. You know something? I like him.
Doug Ford.
Pete, you got to call Dave up and apologize. It's simple. You know, the cheese slipped off the cracker. I get it. You're ticked off.
I love that
But
phrase.
call the guy up because you're a good guy, and Dave's my champion. The guy is just instrumental in these trade deals down in Washington. And, you know, something, people get hot. They get heated. I get heated sometimes. But just call the guy up and bury the hatchet. Because the ambassador is a good guy, actually. I love Dave. I like the ambassador. So
Dave.
He knows what to do. Come on, Pete. You've been around for before Moses. Call the guy up and apologize. Let's start getting back on track.
In a relationship between...
It's like, let's find that again. Oh dear. So that wasn't the one in the clip. No. Oh crikey, what is it? Every time you actually want something specific, you can't find the actual thing itself. You just find lots of people that, oh, hang on, is that it? Oh, and this is when he was whinging and whining last time.
The U.S. ambassador to Canada was on the defensive in Halifax, accusing Canada of playing hardball when it comes to trade talks.
This was last month.
Pete Hoekstra repeatedly told the Halifax Chamber of Commerce that Canada has it wrong, saying this isn't a trade war, but merely negotiations.
The cabinet's now saying that we're at war with America. That doesn't help. Okay, that doesn't. An American opinion. Okay, maybe in Canada saying we're at war. Maybe that's something that Canadians stand up and say yes, yes, yes. Okay, we have an enemy.
What a hypocrite! What the fuck are these magalots constantly saying? That's literally what they crave it. They literally want. They don't want the war with Russia. No, they want the war with. They're over with the. Got to give it to the libs. Or Canada, or Mexico. All your nearest trading partners. But as soon as you mention Russia, they say they got nuclear missiles that blow us up. Cowards, aren't they?
I don't think so. I know a little bit about Canada.
Hoekstra warned calling it a war is misleading and dangerous.
No, we're not at war. If the president thought he was at war with Canada, you'd see a whole different kind of relationship and trade negotiations.
He then took
He's aggressive. The president is aggressive and reactive. He's like a little petulant child with a tiny wiener, like a little shroom that it is. Could you imagine it? If it's the shape of a mushroom, would it be like when a dog goes on a bend, they get locked in and that, Do you think he sort of stays there for ages until it goes even floppier? Just saying, I'm just wondering. I don't really want to actually come to that, no. So anyway, I ain't found it yet, so is that the one? No, that's the wrong month. Why can't, hang on, what's this? No, users, no. So that ain't no good. You just get the popular ones up. That's no good. Okay, let's go back into. I want it. What's there? Has anyone got a link to it? So we can then play it. That'd be good. Anyway, let's see if I on there. Pete Hoekstra, ambassador. What a horrible man he is. What a horrible man. Pete Hoekstra, Canada. When was that? That's a day ago. I want to hear what you say. Oh, that might be it. Could that be it? Pete Hoekstra meltdown. That's someone's podcast. Come on, Ambassador Ford reacts. So I've seen that already. Oh, what's that one?
I don't know if you've seen our Ontario Premier Doug Ford is very vocal about speaking out against some of the moves by the Trump administration, has talked openly about wanting to sit down with President Trump. Have you ever had a chance to meet with Doug Ford?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, Doug's a great guy. He gave me one of your slightly odd-shaped Canadian footballs. Okay. And no, we had he brought in a couple of the parliamentarians that serve in the provincial parliament, Dutch heritage from around the Niagara region. They brought me some Dutch pastries. Diane and I loved it. So no, I've had the opportunity to talk with Doug, and of course, I mean, it being part of the Trump administration, it's kind of like, I watch what happens in the media. I watch what Doug says, as does the Trump administration, and they're a very media savvy bunch.
I was wondering if he brought you a bottle of Crown Royal, but I won't ask you that. Can you tell us any more details about your meeting with Premier Ford? Did anything come out of it? Was anything accomplished from your meetings with him?
Well, it was early in my tenure here, and we've had the opportunity since then to talk about a couple of different issues. And obviously, Doug is on a different page than where the U.S. administration is, and so
well, obviously, he's on a different page. You have been attacking Canada with your trade deals. and threatening Canada has been, we're going to make you the 51st state. You won't have no tariffs then, it's going to be the 51st state, and we'll give you a golden shower and all that, you know? Blimey. These people are deluded. They literally, they jump, they dance around on the head of a pin, don't they? They really do. I really want to find this clip now. I really want to find this clip. But I haven't found it yet. There we go. Hoekstra's meltdown over Ford's. Okay, maybe it's on that one. Is it on that one? Oh my God, they're weird. Not that one. Maybe they're playing this. I'm just going to scroll through it. Oh my God, this mouse is terrible. I don't like this mouse. Oh, hang on. What happened there?
His job as ambassador to simply criticize the Canadian government.
No, that's just people talking. I don't want that. I want Hoekstra having the history fair. How come it's not on there? Was it because he's using vulgar language, do you reckon? Ford, not... oh, no, that's not the one. Bury the hatchet. No. Oh, sod him then. Sod him. Just, they're very embarrassing, aren't they, though? It must be said. It must. Oh, I hate this little trackball. It's terrible. It's all bitty and jittery. Media savvy. Yeah. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me with this, but I actually think what Doug Ford did with that advert was genius. Like I say, I know people are not going to agree, but for starters, put them on the map. You know, all you got is like, you know, Doug Ford constantly being in the news, you know, in the clips. And when you hear Mark Carney in his speech earlier, yesterday, and I think it was yesterday. And basically, anyway, he said, my good friend Doug Ford, because they seem to have a reasonable relationship, which is good because they need to be able to communicate. When you got what's going on in the US, you got own the libs, you know, and the Democrats, Republicans, the Democrats, they're literally trying to make them look like, well, communists, which is ridiculous. But they're saying it so many times now, people got to believe them. You know, it's just nuts. Captain Homer. Hello, Captain Homer, the host. I'm interested in what's happening with Canadian politics. Well, I'm not Canadian, all right? I'm a Brit living in France, just looking in. But from what I can see, the politics side in Canada is actually sane. But the politics in the United States is actually insane. It's insane in the brain, if you know what I mean. Yeah. What the fuck is going on there? It's really Goldilocks Jane, it really is. Oh. It's like no one knows what's going on. And you got Mike Johnson is just literally trying to just cover up for paedophiles. And it's obviously his time on Grindr, you know. Yeah. And he was asked, he said, oh, I've been asked several times, oh, well, you look really tired, Mike. You look really tired. It's all this overtime we're doing. You fucking shut down. You shut the government down. How come you do all this overtime? It's crazy. Meanwhile, while you shut the government down, there's a whole load of people on Saturday. Was it Saturday the 1st of November that won't be entitled to, or there won't be any funding for the SNAP payments, you know, the food stamps. 1 in 8 people not going to have food via the food stamps. That's pretty serious, you know, especially in an environment where the cost of food has gone through the roof. You know, hearing people like, you know, couples having to pay around $300 just for a week's shopping, basic week's shopping. And some people get like $50 just for like 4 or 5 items. It's so expensive. I just don't know how people can go on like that. But you can't, can you? And food inflation's gone up as well. So it's not just the fact that Donald Trump is screwing everyone with the tariffs. It's the fact that you have inflation. And there's Trump lying about, oh, inflation is down as low as it's ever. No, it hasn't. It's gone up. 63% nearly in it, you know? It's madness. Absolute madness. Nothing makes sense anymore. The only thing that makes sense to me now is that there's a distinct possibility that he's literally deliberately trying to crash the dollar to devalue the debt. Basically put the debt into crypto cloud. I think that's right. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Anyway, look at the bright side. Baron Trump, the 19-year-old son, has been investigated for insider trading. Now, I'm beginning to wonder, is that Baron taking the heat off Donald Trump? Because really, it's Donald Trump doing the insider trading as well as Baron. You know, he's the one who's giving out the information. He's the one who's making these decisions, so the stocks go up and down, and crypto goes up and down. You know, it's just nuts. Okay, it's all nuts. That is. Now, there's a company called I think it's Patagonia or something. I'm not sure what they do, but there's a company. It's worth about a crazy amount of money. Something like $3 billion. This company's worth. And anyway, he's donated it to a trust. I think it's a Swedish guy. I might be wrong, but I think it's a Swedish guy. He had a Swedish sort of name, which I can't pronounce. But anyway, he's donated his company to this trust, which the trust has to use the money from this company, so the profits from this company go into this non-profit for climate change, you know, for projects and stuff like that. And it could be a bit like a foundation, you know, charitable foundation. So yeah, pretty cool. Hey, your dog is cute. Oh, my little Sebastian bear. He is cute. He's a soppy old fella, he is. You're cuddly, aren't you, bear? You know, he has big cuddles we do, don't we? Right, where are we? I heard that Barron got kicked out of university. Oh, did he? I didn't know that, but maybe that's why he's took over the Trump Tower. Marshall, what have I missed? Hoekstra says he's disappointed in Canadians. I get you. And we say we are disappointed in him. We are called mean and nasty to deal with. Oh my God, that's Trumpism, isn't it? You know, petulant. You know, you can't take it. You can give it, but you can't take it. Crikey. Yeah, filthy people getting filthy rich. There's all these extremely rich people, you know, the billionaires and the extreme millionaires out there, and they cream it constantly from the people and don't think about the people, and the people need, you know, to get some of that money back, don't they? You know, everyone's promised about this so-called trickle-down economy, and it's all we've found is a trickle up and out, you know, to the Cayman Islands. You know, you've got to look at the Pandora Papers, and that gives you a fairly good idea where the money's gone. The thing is, you keep sucking the money out of the country, eventually there ain't no money. The only money that's comes in then, you see, is from growth in the country. So if you've got industry growth, GPT starts going, gross domestic product keeps going up. But if you've got no growth, which you haven't in the US or in the UK, you can't keep sucking the money out of the country because you've got to replace it with something. And money generally comes basically debt, isn't it? You know, money's basically debt. So it's from loans and stuff like that, or investments, and obviously direct foreign investment as well. If you haven't got any of that, you're not going to you're not going to be able to see. Well, all that money's going to, you'll see trickling down, will you? Because before a little bit is trickling down, and we didn't notice all the other stuff that was going on. We sort of paid a blind eye to it. But now that it's no longer trickling down, even though it's only a tiny amount, we're now noticing, hang on, how come you're still rich then? You know? Yeah, it's painful to listen to Trump talk and to know that he's what the world sees of my country. I'm sorry about John Feaster, but yes, we are looking in, and for one thing, it's a running joke. Sorry, but it is. But anyone with a level head will understand that it's not everybody. The start, it was 77 million that voted for Trump. So it's not everyone. And those that did vote for him, whenever they speak, we know full well that they are clearly of the lack of thinking. They're stupid, okay? And stupid is as stupid does. So, and also, Kamala Harris, she's like a bit of a fortune teller. Things that she's been saying, she said during her campaign about Trump, he'll start war and he'll patsy to Putin and shit like that. That's literally what's been happening. And he's attacking the American people. That's so un-American, you know? As far as Americans are concerned, you've always been told that you're the greatest country in the world, and we all look and say, why? Well, you don't get it, you see. I don't see how any country that does not have a health care system that provides health care for the people so they can be nice and healthy and, you know, in a fit state to go to work, well, that ain't the best country in the world, is it? You know, it just isn't. And charging people the ridiculous amounts of money, even with the Medicaid, Medicare, you know, it's the Affordable Care Act, sorry. It's, even with that, it's still too expensive. It's ridiculous. Okay, I want to make a little comparison for you. Now, because where is it? Not that one, not that one, that's fine. I don't need that, I don't think. Was it over here? 1, 2, 3. Is it that one? Maybe it's that one. No, anyway, because I had my jabs today, and my dear missus had her jabs as well. Caroline was old enough to get her free COVID. I get it because I've got asthma. And I also get a flu jab because of that. And Caroline couldn't get the flu jab. She ain't quite old enough yet, sorry. She's old enough for the COVID, but not for the flu jab. So we had to pay for it, okay? And, you know, it's silly not to do it. I think so anyway. Now, the cost of the jab itself was €12, and the cost of administering it was €7.50. So it was only just over €20 to have this flu jab. So I thought, I don't know, how much it cost in the United States, whether it's done via the CDC or done via, I did have it up here, but I've actually minimised it. So let's, not minimised, I've cancelled it, search for it again. So, flu vaccine. Ah, that's it, there it is. CDC, that's the one I got. Right, I couldn't believe the costs. It's bloody high. Plus, this isn't the cost of the actual injection. This is the cost of the actual vaccine. So, that's paediatric on the adult list. Adult vaccine price list. So, hepatitis. Not that one, not that one. Not that one. We don't want that one. Influenza. And this one is influenza adult vaccine price list. Now, if you're 65 years and older, the vaccine, right, for the dose is $56 through the CDC, $86 privately. This is average prices, yeah. If you're younger, the dose is obviously a lot smaller, what have you, but it's only about $15 for children. Yeah, around $15. Now, COVID vaccine depends which one you get as well, but they're all around $50, $60 for the CDC and around 70 to 80 for the private sector. Now, the COVID vaccine for, there we go, is an over There we go. Oh, yeah. It's $91 just for the vaccine, not the injection, not for the person to do it, unless you can do it yourself. And if it's in the private sector, it'll be 136. Now, if you think that's, $91, and the equivalent here in France was 12, or privately, 136 equivalent in France, 12. It's been ripped off, big time. And when I hear them say other countries are ripping me off, increasing the price of the drugs, they're going from here, they're going to there, and they're pushing the prices up. No, they're not. No, if that is happening, there's only a tiny amount. It's the actual pharmaceutical, big pharma, what have you, ripping you off, plus the people are selling it to you. And the system. It's just wrong, isn't it, Just as a comparison. Just remind you to book your 90-year-old mum's COVID and flu. I'm glad I was of help. Douglas Todd says, I just had an interesting discussion last week with visiting American family on healthcare, but that was interesting as well. Crikey. I can imagine. The costs are just through the bloody roof, aren't they? Steve McGowan says, my friend in the USA said she paid $250 for the COVID shot and she has no insurance. She paid $85 for a flu shot. At Target. I thought that's a food shop. They do that as well, do they? Blimey. Or was it off the shelf and you just got to do it yourself, administer it yourself? Is that right or not? God, this is nuts, isn't it? This is just crazy. It doesn't make any logical sense to me. I know I keep saying it, but you've got to have a healthy population if you want to have a, sustainable economy. It's no good having unhealthy people. That's just stupid. What? So rabies treatment costs $4,000 to $10,000. I ain't got rabies yet. It is massive money making. It's just cream off the top, and the cost of inhalers, insulin. These are all cheap drugs. They're all relatively cheap drugs. They don't need to be that expensive, I didn't realise how cheap them drugs were until we started getting our invoices through from the AMLI, the health system for which we're on here in France. And we don't pay, it's just, they just inform you what they've paid on your behalf. It just works. Hello there, Grunge. I hope you're well. Grunge thing. You make my heart sing. And it's free in the UK for my mum, says JPT online. Well, it says what NHS, you see, it makes perfect sense. We complain about it when it doesn't perform as we would like. But as a whole, it's still a bloody good system. It's not their fault that they ain't got enough money. It's too much administration, mind. But, the worst thing that they did was privatising parts of it, such as the privately funded hospitals. Ridiculous. And then the procurement being run by private companies. That's madness. That's just madness. That if a company can make a profit, why wouldn't you want the hospital to have that little bit extra money? With all the buying power of the NHS across the whole of the United Kingdom, and the same with all these other hospitals in the United States or in Canada, I don't know how they do in Canada, to be fair. But actually, having via procurement, it doesn't make any sense. And it should be all centralised, and you're ordering from a centralised system that isn't privately owned. It's public. It's part of the NHS. That's how it used to be. And they could negotiate the prices down. Everything was cheaper. And now there's all these private companies involved, just taking their bit. It's the same with the rail networks. The carriages and the trains, a lot of them are rented, isn't it? It's just nuts. It doesn't make any logical sense. It's just a way of saying we've done this at the time. So, we've got a new railway link here from there to there. But you don't own it. You know, you just got a private company involved. Just like HS2, there's a shitload of private money in HS2. Same in the United States. With you could argue the same with pipelines. They've been privately owned when they're parts of your infrastructure. You know, you got to think about your security. You know, same with internet. You know, they should really not be privately. I don't think so. I think it should be nationalised. We need it to be secure. It's in France, you know, partly nationalised in France. You see, Orange is a part of French Telecom here in France, and Soch and various others, you see. And also the EDF, which is the, you know, somebody called EDF, the electricity company in France, is now 100% owned by the French people. You know, but it's state-owned. And from that, they can then sell the electricity from overproduction, which they do. They sell it to the UK, they sell it to Spain, they sell it all sorts of places. And actually looking at selling it to Morocco, which means they need to have a way of getting past Spain. But there's negotiations going on that. You see, Spain can charge for that privilege, because France is very savvy in regard to power. They produce more power than they use in France. And a lot of solar, a lot of wind, obviously a lot of nuclear as well. And as such, you know, they can make money. Doesn't get our bills any bloody cheaper though. Luckily, I'm pretty much off grid anyway, so it's pretty good. Apart from the internet and a bit of electric. Okay. Hello, Marsha Maggin. That's where I'm lucky. When I get my meds, I don't pay for them. I just pick them up. I got the best health coverage I could get from work for my daughter. Good. Now, that can work for people, can't it? If you've got tied into your employment, that obviously makes a lot of sense. But a lot of people can't do that, can they? Yeah, not all employers offer it either, do they? It's definitely clear. I hope you're well. Oh, it's starting soon, is it, Jays? Oh, I just so hope they win. That's going to be hilarious. Hello, we do keep it. Washington, Oregon, and California are all starting to join together. And our own UHS system, between our states. It's quite the fight going on, I can imagine. So Washington, Oregon, and California. Why the hell not? When are you going to get your independence? No? Make California free. It's not exactly again, but you know, freer than what? Anyway, don't quite work, does it? No, that's pretty good. That is. That'd be pretty cool. She should have a free. I just don't understand why you've got countries out there that are, well, you could say up and coming countries, developing countries that have healthcare. Israel's got healthcare, and you're paying for it, but you can't have it. No, it's just nuts. It doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't. Oh, but Trump is underwater. He is underwater. His poll ratings are absolutely plummeting. I know he says otherwise, but they're absolutely plummeting. And it's it's good to see Canada, for instance, for all its fresh trade deals and negotiations that are going on at the moment, that are level-headed, but they make sense. That you're communicating with these Asian countries and coming out with something at the end of it, but not Trump. He'll say all this shit, doesn't he? Then comes Toyota, then says, "No, we didn't say that." No, we didn't say that. So he said that Toyota's going to invest all this money in the United States. And no, we didn't make any such promises. It's just like the $350 billion that we want South Korea to hand over, just to do trade with the United States. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. The man is just cognitively challenged. I've got to be politically correct. Apparently I can't call him a retard. Oh shit, I just did. Oh dear me. But there's a lot going on. It's like these semiconductors. China needs, obviously, semiconductors, and they're developing their own. And they're coming leaps and bounds. They've got working systems now. You've got, obviously, NVIDIA constantly developing what they've been, their GPUs and the AI GPUs and CPUs, what have you. And they've been developing that, but they now can't sell into China like they once did. So that's all sort of like shit hit the fan there. But a lot of this is all dependent still on, I can't remember where it was, which country it is. I think it's the Netherlands. I think it's the Netherlands. The company that makes the machines that prints those wafers, for the actual circuits on these ICs, microscopic kind of stuff, The machine that does that, they only make those in, I'm pretty certain it's in the Netherlands. So they could cripple everybody if they wanted to. They really could. But let's be fair, China is doing their bit to cripple the Netherlands. Because they basically tried to, they took control of Nexperia, which is another semiconductor manufacturer, mainly for not mainly, but they supply a lot of the car manufacturing with semiconductors. And now China's saying, well, no, you can't have them. You can't have the stuff for the factory to keep the factory going. So they've held them to, with the short and curlies. And some car manufacturers, including I think there's Volkswagen, had to pause production. Huge amounts of money lost when that happens, because obviously they're not producing anything, are they? Because they need their semiconductors. It's such a mess. And there's one person to blame for all this, and that's Donald Trump. This protectionist racket wouldn't have happened as it has if it wasn't for Donald Trump. He's put a spanner in the works of world economic relations, and trading relations, and he's just messed everything up. Oh, Grant Salone's going to have a shower. Have a shower. Oh, don't forget to get all your bits, all right? Put it back, clean it, whatever. You don't want a mouldy shroom. No, all right? I know it's a fungus anyway, but you don't want extra fungus. No. It's like having extra cheese on your mac and cheese. Don't do it. Where's my mouse gone again? Oh, it's there now. There's one problem. I've got three screens up at the moment. And I keep losing my mouse between the three screens. I can't find it. Where's my bloody mouse? My little cursor. The Netherlands is going liberal. So is Ireland. Yeah, because they've voted in liberal now, aren't they? A liberal woman, which is good. Yeah, steam power and coal. Go for it, the USSA. The USSA. Oh, dear me. What's a mess? What is this? If developed countries didn't colonise, the immigrants wouldn't leave. If developed countries didn't colonise, the immigrants wouldn't leave. Oh, I think I understand what you mean. Washington, I've done that already. There we come. I think a correction is coming. With Trump and the United States? I hope so. I think there's going to be a correction in the markets that I'm fairly certain of, and regarding AI bubble and the dollar, it's all going to. I still believe we're heading for a massive crash, worse than 2008. I don't see how they can sustain this much longer. If you can't fucking feed yourself, there's something seriously wrong, isn't there? You know. Food used to be yeah, scrub them bits. Yeah. Grant, all right, don't forget, sometimes you have to lift bits up and get underneath. I don't know if you're like me, if you're fat like me, you might have a problem. Praying for the Hamburglar to take DT, to take Donald Trump. One day, the Grim Reaper will come for him and send him down to the pits of hell. I don't think even they'll want him, to be fair. He's not just embarrassing, says John. He's terrifying. It's like placing a hyperactive child in charge of defying a commercial plane. I'm terrified of the next 3 years. I think we all are. Anyone with a consciousness must be relatively terrified, but also curious what he's going to do next. He's so reckless. I don't see how the United States can sustain this. You know what they say. When the bigger you are, the harder you fall. And the United States economy was big. The debt was always been a bit high, especially under the 2 Trump terms. But as soon as things start going pear-shaped, and you don't have the money coming in to fund what services are left, well, then you've got a real shit show going on, isn't it? The whole thing's going to crash and fall flat on its face. Someone said, Father Ted. Have I got Father Ted? Yeah, I have actually. How about this one? What does this do you? No, it's not.
No, Father.
There you go. Let's try again now.
I hear you're a racist now, Father.
Oh, how about this one? If it's... Might have to look.
Coming over here.
Take our jobs and our women. Oh dear. Oh dear, what a mess. I just don't know. If you didn't laugh, you'd cry, wouldn't you? You really would. There must be so many people, they're saying they're terrified and that, there must be so many people who are absolutely petrified and don't know how they're going to pay their bills. I was watching a clip of a couple who just lost their jobs and they are just in, they're just an absolute mess because they've lost their jobs and they ain't got no money in the bank. So, and then there's another ones because of the shutdown, they're not getting paid, so they don't know where they're going and they've been furloughed, so they don't know if they're ever going to get paid for even what they've done. It's basically been made redundant. Hello, Andrew. I hope you're well. So it's frightening. It is frightening, but also it's frightening for everyone concerned because Trump is antagonising everybody. Everyone's trying to keep calm and carny on that they are. And when it comes down to it, shit could still end up hitting the fan. And end up literally going to pot. Everything going to pot. Because unless someone stops him, he ain't going to stop. He's still going around saying how great he is and best polls ever and what have you. When we all watch this, no, you haven't. You're drowning and you're taking us all with you. I just keep thinking about it. It's something I've noticed recently. He didn't used to do this. Whenever he's having one of those little group discussions and he got the media, the press gabble there and what have you, and they're asking questions, he's now actually allowing the other people to speak. Maybe either he's realising that he don't know what he's talking about, or he just can't put it all together. He's not all the ticket, is he? Not coherent. A friend of mine, says Steve McGowan, worked at the airport and he told me lines for the UK and other third country. Visitors arriving are around 40 to 60 minutes now due to the ESS in place. So that's the entry, well, the UK, is it the UK version or the US version? That's the entry, it's like an entry-exit system, isn't it? Feck! Yeah, Douglas. Yeah, from, oh.
I hear you're a racist now.
From Father Ted. Oh, he died, didn't he? Yeah, he passed away. All the good ones died, don't they, you know? Like John Candy and people like that, you know. He was a lovely guy, he was. Sort of a caring sort. There was like young actors and what have you, used to take care of them. Because they're being bullied. New horrors every day. Our hands are pretty much tied. Yes. Yes, Biff. Biffison. Yeah. No, there's not a lot you can do. That's the scary thing. Anything you can do at the moment is obviously you've got the protests going on. But also you've got incognito or, you know, clandestine methods of protest. There's also, I've noticed actually they're getting cockier. These ICE agents getting they're less and less of them are wearing masks now. It's like they feel that they are impervious to the law. They think that so-called pardon, you know, actually, you know, it protects them. Not pardon, what's called now, immunity. That protects them, but it doesn't. Yeah, look out for each other and help each other. Yeah, that's a good fucking policy if you ask me. You know, just care for thy neighbour. That's even in the Bible. You know, no matter what colour, come how it goes. It's something like, no matter what colour skin you are, or different people from different countries and stuff like that, treat them as though they are you, kind of thing, which makes a lot of sense. You know, that's just common decency. Not all this racism and nastiness that's constantly flying about, which is horrible. It is. It's just horrible. Even Nigel Farage is he's stepping back from Trump a little bit.
So is Donald Trump a role model for you, for government?
In terms of standing up for the national interest above all else, yes. In terms of keeping promises that he made to the electorate, yes. There are many other areas in which we might disagree or might do things
Which are the areas that you disagree?
There are other areas we might disagree, social policy, etc. We might see things differently. The fundamentalism of Trump is you tell the electorate, I'm going to do X, and you actually do it. And that's what he's doing. And, you know, and we might look at, I mean, look, you know, you and I could sit over a cup of tea and talk about some of the
No thanks.
machinations and say to ourselves, what the hell's going on? Or we could, you know, go back to the 30s and think about tariffs and damages done to the economy, etc.
Anyone got a milkshake?
No, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
But you don't like
No. Listen to me. It's irrelevant. He promised the American public he'd use tariffs as a weapon. He's doing it. So is he to a large extent restoring faith in the democratic system? Yes.
Is he restoring your faith to the democratic system? How? It's just what an idiot. So when we're going to swap over to, when's the switch for the digital currency? It'll be the worst and most dangerous thing that we could ever do. That's one way of crippling the country. Well, actually, crippling the world. When you've got so much volatility, so much shit flying back at the moment, we're at risk of war. There is a risk of war. There's no way getting away from that, is it? We are definitely getting closer and closer to potential war with Russia, which is bloody frightening. Which then they'll probably end up being with China and India and other countries. They might sit on the fence, actually, to be fair. But when we've got this, I know they've got the agreement, they've got a pact between them, so maybe not actually come to that. But you need something that is tangible. Having a currency that's relying on all these computer systems around the world, right, yeah, to be constantly talking to each other, which could literally be attacked by bombs, you could end up losing everything. I just don't trust it. I don't think it's secure. I know you have all these wallets and shit like that and secure servers, but they are servers after all, and servers can be attacked. We can't trust them to look after our data. How can we trust them to look after our money? Whereas if you've got something that's tangible, such as actual money, or gold, yeah. If you've got something tangible, you're fairly safe. You'll still have it. I'm not convinced about crypto. I'm really not. I think it's a great way of making a bit of money here and there, and digital payments, and most money is transferred digitally anyway. But it just feels very dangerous. It's just me, People have to agree, do they? Take care, Douglas. Thanks a lot, my friend. I've got to blow this pop stand. I've got bits to scrub and Jays to watch. Well, good luck, Jays. Yes, I understand. I'm going to probably click off in a minute anyway. I'll go for a little bit longer. But obviously people want to watch that, I imagine. It's nice to hear you touch on the Bible. I have read the Bible and stuff like that. I went to Sunday school and shit like that, but I never really believed in it. I believed in some of the things in it because some of it makes sense, and some of it doesn't. And some of it is bloody awful, and some of it's brilliant. And you could say exactly the same about the Quran, It's people who follow it literally. That's the problem for me. It's just, it's just literally a book that's been written by human beings, generally men, So, why do we follow it? I didn't see the so-called God with his quill. Did you? Or did he have an Epson? I don't know. Yes, silver is a good option, and also it's going up in value as well. You see, anything that's used in industry, and it's very important for industry, and manufacturing electronics and stuff like that, anything like that is a good thing to invest in because it's all, as it stands, it's something that's we're always going to need it. And that's obviously gold, silver, platinum, and then you've got obviously rare earths as well. But if you can actually have things that you can actually physically hold. Now, Caroline just did something the other, actually, was it this morning? Or was it yesterday? No, yesterday. She was going around with her little, with her phone, and she's curious, with Google Lens, and she was, because we've got quite a lot of things. We collect a lot of stuff, right? Yeah, we've got like Tuscan horses and all sorts of stuff. We just find it interesting, except from brocants and. So anyway, she's done the Google Lens on it and sort of looked up the value of these things online, and some of it's surprising because we've got a lot of glass and some porcelain type stuff like we've got a hell of a lot of weight. Yeah, it's not worth a lot, but we've got a lot of it, and some things are for like 30, 40 quid. Some things are very little amounts of money, but when you've got a lot of it, you think, oh, that's tempting. It's surprising, and we've got like a load of raffia, Egyptian raffia paintings and stuff like that, and they're quite not valuable, but they've got a bit, worth a little bit of money. And then there is my vinyl collection. I've got thousands of records. I'm up to about, I'll say thousands. That's thousands. I'm about 1,200 now, so it's not thousands. No, there's a few hundred in here, just in here, but but some of them have, very good value. In fact, one of my newer records is my most valuable one, which is White Stripes acoustic set, Jack White, and that was worth about 600 quid, and I bought that in 2015, I think it was. So yeah, it's surprising. There's all sorts of stuff that you can invest in that will grow in value. They're fairly safe things to invest in. And obviously metals and commodities make a lot of sense. Jewellery. And when you're at times when people got no money in their pocket, you can quite often buy this stuff for less than scrap value. It might seem wrong, as long as you make sure it's hallmarked, but still, kind of helping them out as well, I suppose, if they're desperate for money. Look at that's an old pawn shop. I just bought some Jay's fluid. Great stuff. Need it for the greenhouse. Some people they might not know what Jay's fluid is. It's like a dark disinfectant, and we do use it for cleaning greenhouses and stuff. You know, all your trays and stuff like that. You know, yeah. Jay's fluid. Oh my God, that's a blast from the past. I've actually got some in my garage, for the garden. Jay's fluid is odd. I think they mean Jay's as in the bird Jay, not Jay's fluid. We do water and pressure canning and make alcohol. Me too. Our water is from our well. We've got a boiler for canning, but also we've got a big old pressure cooker thing. It came from the United States actually, and that's good for doing the more vulnerable foods. Other than that, we just use the boiler. We do a lot of Mediterranean style stuff, which have higher acid content. So you don't really need to use the pressure canner for that. Yeah, religions are so divisive. Yeah, I understand why people follow it because they need something. People feel they need something. They need answers to something because they don't accept science, or they've been indoctrinated over the years. Which is easy done, isn't it? What you need to do, you need to maybe go and have one of them cognitive tests. Yeah, like I say,
Like you go person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Yeah, it's very important. And while you're at it, you can tell the world how wet water is.
One of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water, and tremendously wet.
The things that come out of that tiny little mouth. What the heck is wrong with that man? It's crazy. Yeah, we'll keep that. It's fun because it's nice to know that you can. Obviously, you've got a stock of food, so it's great to have a supply, especially when the prices go up. If you're growing the stuff yourself, and you can keep the stuff over the winter right until the next season and beyond. And friends, we can't get pressure canners in Australia, can you? Blimey, that's crazy. You only need a boiler. You don't have to have a pressure can. Depends on what you're doing. If you let's say for instance you want to try and I don't know what you want to, but pressure can something like squash, you can't really do that in a boiler. It's like that go mouldy. You'll get botulism in it. But you can if you're using a pressure canner and do it in chunks. So yeah, I suppose the temperatures are higher. Maybe I don't know. It's turned into a prepper stream. Oh dear me. It's a laugh a minute, isn't it, eh? It's a laugh. Have I missed something? Have I missed something? Bring it back up here. Oh, this mouse is terrible. Bear me. Oh, no, I haven't. That's fine. Oh, chat. So, where was I? Oh, my God, have you heard? There was a militia group that was in Venezuela that had been hired, basically, or trained by the CIA for a false flag attack on US ships. They were going to sink a ship or something like that. Just an excuse to start a war with Venezuela. They have a reason to. Yeah, let me get that up on there. Oh yeah, Venezuela successfully captured a CIA-backed mercenary group planning a false flag operation in waters near Trinidad and Tobago, according to Reuters. Fucking hell. But they caught them. That's embarrassing. Oh, you got a dehydrator? We've got a dehydrator. I got a 10 shelf dehydrator, stainless steel one. It's bloody good. Oh, mushrooms and turn it into powder. You can turn it into powder, can't you? You can just use a coffee grinder for that, the spinny type ones. Churches are social clubs, and that's why so many like them. Yeah, I get that. Well, my son-in-law and my daughter belong to a church, and they go regular, and there's a community basis to it, but it's quite a friendly place, and it's church, but they're all nearly all Africans, in there, apart from my daughter, obviously, and her other half, he's Nigerian, and it's a real lively, friendly place. It really is. So if it makes people happy, it's all that matters. As long as people don't try to inflict that nonsense onto me, it doesn't really bother me. But I just don't. I'm an atheist, right? I don't believe in all that. I really don't. But it's up to them. Up to you as well. It's not my business, is it? My local is a social club, and the barman, the preacher. Surf address. Iodine is important for more than just nuclear. It is good for water purification and you can get in salt. Iodine. I have a small jar food grade iodine. Cool. It's like a lot of this stuff that's used for one thing negatively is obviously could be positive for something else. Where are we? Do preppers hoard iodine tablets? Well, I don't. What about carbon? Is it carbon tablets? Or is it iodine tablets? What's that? Is it? Oh, is it? For nuclear. Is it for talking about radiation sickness? Is that iodine or is it carbon tablets? It's iodine, isn't it? I think so. So monasteries are clubs too. Temples are too. Churches are a place to worship and people get fellowship. Yes, that's fine if people want to do that. This is my church. Unfortunately, whenever I preach, I don't get handed billions of dollars so I can buy jets and fast cars like a lot of these bloody preachers. Heck, conmen. One of them had like 2 helicopters. Crazy. Oh, I see. So iodine fills the thyroid so it can't it's iodine then. Can't accept radiation. Okay, we need to get some iodine tablets. I'll tell the missus. I've got hypothyroidism, me. So I take thyroxine. Do I have to stop taking that? Will that work? Oh, table salt has it. But what about sea salt? Table salt's affecting all the stuff. All the goodness is taken out, isn't it? There's no real minerals in it. No electrolytes hardly at all. Iodine kills bacteria. More alcohol. Reminds me of Tom Sawyer. You have to have a spoonful of iodine every day. Well, Tom Sawyer was the other one. Oh, they were the days. Radiation. Well, that's a case of nuclear fallout, isn't it? You never know. We don't know what's around the corner. You got Russia with their new missile that can just keep flying and flying and flying and flying and flying because it's powered by nuclear. And, they're getting more and more aggressive because they don't like the fact that we're sticking up for Ukraine. We don't want them on our doorstep. We really do not. Yes, copper and brass as well. Well, no, brass is an alloy. So, if you're talking about copper, yeah, definitely copper as a commodity. come. A prepper stream here. There we come. Where's that over here?
On this trip alone, I've signed groundbreaking agreements with Malaysia, Cambodia, Japan. Our deal with the Republic of Korea will be finalized very soon, like moments or very shortly thereafter. These agreements will be incredible victories for all of us because everyone is better off when we have stable partnerships, not plagued by chronic problems and imbalances. Probably you know that President Xi of China is coming tomorrow here. And we're going to be, I hope, making a deal. I think we're going to have a deal. I think it'll be a good deal for both.
Oh, my God.
And that's really a great result. That's better than fighting and going through all sorts of problems. And
You're the one who starts the
I think
fights.
it's going to be a great deal for both. So I'll be meeting him tomorrow. A lot of people are
He's
interested.
the instigator.
They're also interested in what we're doing, but they're interested in that.
No, we're not.
The world is watching.
We are.
And we're entering a new era of trade that truly works for both sides. Got to work for everybody. Deals have to be good for everybody. I've heard that all the time, and I never really believed it, I'll be honest. I said, if you make a great deal. The best deals are deals that work for everybody, especially when you're talking about nations. When you're talking about nations, it really is a little bit different than you're doing a business deal and you want to just rip their hearts out, right? These guys know what I mean. They've ripped out so many hearts. But when you have nations, it's...
Who says that? You want to rip the hearts out here. Oh my Gideon. He's a lunatic. He's an absolute lunatic. It's just chalk and cheese when you got
I'll ask a version of
this geezer.
I figured you might.
If it is true that a TV ad, that you were close to a deal exchanging term sheets, and a TV ad caused all of this to be canceled, halted, Trump does not want to meet, are you upset at Premier Doug Ford for running this ad? If this is true that this ad spoiled something that was very close?
Look, I'd say the following, which is that in any complicated, high-stakes negotiation, you can get unexpected twists and turns, and you have to keep your cool during those situations. It doesn't pay to be upset. Emotions don't carry you very far. And we had made progress, to repeat, and we stand by the progress that had been made. The government of Canada does, and we are ready when appropriate to pick that up. And I'll just re-emphasize that it is the responsibility of the government of Canada to have these negotiations. And others will have opinions, and others welcome free advice, unsolicited advice is entirely appropriate. Every Canadian is a stakeholder in these negotiations. Every Canadian is a stakeholder in the fact that we're making progress in ASEAN, that we have the agreement with Indonesia, that we have just decided to accelerate trade talks with the Philippines, with ASEAN as a whole. Every Canadian has a stakeholder, is a stakeholder in the evolution of our relationship with China and the discussions that we will be having at APEC with giants there. So that's the focus.
By the third question, the press corps knew what they were watching.
Oh.
This was no longer about policy. This was about posture. A reporter asked whether an ad run by Ontario Premier Doug Ford had infuriated Trump enough to sabotage an almost final deal. Carney could have fired back or blamed others. Instead, he gave a master class in leadership. He said simply, "It doesn't pay to be upset." Emotions don't carry you very far. That single line captured the difference between Carney and Trump better than any soundbite.
I'm sure that was a bit of a dig.
One governs with composure.
One governs with composure, and the other one's an erratic monster. Yeah, he's just a nutcase. Where's Baron's laptop? Malaria's emails. Oh dear. It's not just about what salt tastes like. It's about whether or not it's got all the electrolytes in it, all the minerals that you need. Yeah, he is an absolute lunatic and speaks like a fifth grader. You ain't wrong. You're not. Can someone take the keys away from that pumpkin? What is it about the pumpkin? Yeah, Donald Trump is like a pumpkin. He's orange. What is it now? Oh, how did it go? He's orange. He's full of something. Oh, how did it go? He's orange and he's... Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, it won't gone by November. Trump is full of hot air. I'm not sure salt can taste like anything but salt if it is pure salt. If it's sea salt, that's going to have other stuff in it as well, isn't it, I suppose? It's not what the taste is, it's whether or not it's got all the minerals in it, I think. That's the way I see it, anyway. Ooh, pulp. A mass of... Oh, yeah, could be full of pulp, maybe. Pumpkin pulp. A mass of slimy strings, it might be, I don't know. Yeah. There, well, it's not like spaghetti squash. That's like loads of strings. Yeah, that's what it's called, spaghetti squash, I suppose. Okay. It's a mess that it is. Right. There we go. So apparently, the United States is going to allow Korea. Okay, so US will share tech to let South Korea build a nuclear-powered submarine. Oh. So the US President Donald Trump announced on social media that he has approved South Korea's plan to build a nuclear-powered submarine during his visit to Asia. Trump and South Korean President Lee Jae-myung finalised a trade deal. No deal, that's a framework of a deal. Oh. Including South Korea buying US oil and gas. No, it's just Trump saying that they're going to. Under a pact, South Korea needs US consent to pre-process a nuclear fuel, which Lee sought for enhanced submarine capabilities. That's all done after the war, I suppose, Korean War. I've given them approval to build a nuclear-powered submarine rather than the old-fashioned and far less nimble diesel-powered submarines. Oh, that's big of you, yeah. He's such a numpty, isn't he? Put probes into Trump's 300 million. Oh, Democrats are ramping up probes. They are. Into Trump's 300 million, that's 350 now, million White House ballroom. Oh, blimey. And Colorado sues Trump over Space Command. They moved it, didn't they? Into a Republican area and calls relocation unconstitutional with it in, because it is unconstitutional. Just could have gone to Congress. According to The Atlantic, the same geezer who was in the Signal chat or invited in, Trump is sleepwalking into a political disaster. Well, yeah, economical disaster as well. I haven't reached a trade deal. It's not a trade deal. It's basically an agreement on potential terms. We learnt this through the bloody trade deal with the European Union, which is very tedious. Top Republicans slam Trump administration's troop drawdown in Romania. I don't know where was that. Impact. Okay. Now, Trump is weighing up the sale of AI chips to China. Well, at the moment, China's actually banned them into China. And the NVIDIA AI chips. Well, they've got their own AI as well. There's DeepSeek, the Chinese AI. Oh, crikey. There's some people using like ChatGPT AI to do so much stuff for them. Some like form of psychosis where they're just obsessed with it. They're actually forgetting how to think and how to remember stuff. It's just like everything's been done for them. It's crazy. They did a study on it, you know, to see the effects of it, and they're just basically cognitively their brains are turning into mush. That's a technical term. Living in the shadow of America appears to provide amazing insight into the American mentality. It's not everyone in the United States. A lot of them have been indoctrinated as well, haven't they? You know, America's the greatest country in the world, you know. Been told that all their lives and been basically made to believe it. And it's just like religions and evangelicals as well. It's just like they've been indoctrinated over the years. You know, instead of actually just accepting that it's just a religion, they're trying to remove, as far as they're concerned, I'd be a communist, wouldn't I? You know what I mean? But especially being an atheist. They just want to get rid of us all. So the Supreme Court wants more info before ruling on Trump's Chicago National Guard deployment. What more info do you fucking need? That's just another delay. Oh my God, did you hear about this? The White House, right, there's a commission. The arts and, basically the aesthetics, how things are supposed to look. He's fired them all. So the White House has fired all the members of the commission that is to weigh in on Trump's construction projects, basically have some influence to how it's going to look. So he fired them all. It's going to look like Trump Tower. Or a Mackie D. Oh, well. Oh, dear me. What a mess. What have they done? Oh, God, this mouse. I can't use it. It's terrible. I'm going to have to find something else. It's a little trackball thing, all right? A little Logitech trackball. Because the ball isn't really big enough, you need 55, 60mm ball, really, for a decent trackball. What happens is they stick. Every so often the little bushes in there, they get a bit grease off your hands and dirt, and it makes it lumpy. I've cleaned it already today, you know. It's really annoying. That's wonderful. We'll done that already. Oh, I think I'm going to have to call. I didn't know. I said I was going to have to leave it early, didn't I? I am going to call it a night. Like, thank everyone for coming. I am falling asleep here. I'm so tired. And obviously, it's making the stream very, very lethargic, as it is. Just check the chat for last time. A brain can be used to rebel. Too bloody right. We need to see some rebelling that we do. When you put an autograph on something, only that it's a deal. Only then it's a deal. But well, what about the framework of deal with the United Kingdom? He put an autograph on a blank bit of paper. Oh dear. Trump is all three monkeys and the fourth one. Yes, speak no evil, hear no evil, hear no evil, and whatever the last one is. Car parking, yeah. What sort of car parking do you think they're going to have? It'll be on the roof, maybe? Like a multi-story? You can't change a window in an historic house here without approval from historic committee, and Taco goes and demolishes 30% of the White House. Yeah. here in France and in the UK, it's probably might be the same where you are. You've got to have a planning permission anyway to change windows and doors. Or you've got to have in the UK what they call the fencer approved installer, and then they can just do it. But just basically they just make the application, and then they can just do it for you. But they have to be a fencer approved. And it's very similar here in France. Maybe it's a European thing. I don't know. Right, where are we? Don't we come? I like trackballs. I've ordered another mouse now, but because I can't do without a mouse for fine work. Trackballs are great for navigation, not so good for video editing and stuff like that. But I used to have a really nice big 55mm trackball, and that thing was awesome, really quick. Eventually, I wore out base. That was years ago. Didn't mean buttons on it, anything. I mean, it was just very simple. But it was very fluid. It was very smooth. Probably because it was big. It got big balls. It doesn't work for those. Just want to know. No worries, Cindy. That was just. I'm feeling I'm a bit lethargic now, so I'm struggling to. Oh, and Australian news is about inflation spike. Well, we are going to get it, aren't we? Unfortunately. It's just... it's all going to go to shit. Let's be honest. If people can't afford to buy food, they can't afford to buy other stuff. And that just affects the economy all around. And some of that stuff is going to be imported, even with the tariffs. So those countries where it's been imported from, they're going to struggle a bit more because there'll be less money coming in. It's the same old story for everybody. We all need to understand that in the middle of it all, the United States currently is a massive bunch of consumers. But not anymore. No. And maybe that's exactly what you need to do. You need to get the old billionaires and the corporations, get them by the old goodies. Because currently, the government isn't working for you, it's working for the corporations, so they need to be hurt. They really need to be hurt somewhat. They've got to feel your pain. No worries. Anyway, thank you very much. It's really, really, really appreciated to have you all here. And yeah, the chat wasn't too trolly, which is pretty good. Did we have any? Oh, Joel was in the chat. He's just looking in. He's looking after me. Oh, thanks, Joel. Yeah, cheers, buddy. Yeah, sometimes Joe contributes in the chat, and sometimes he's doing other stuff. He has to work as well, you know. And he's probably doing, I don't know what he's doing. But thanks, Joe. Much appreciated, my friend. To help us out in that. I got really, oh, God, I feel I got wind. Anyway, toodaloo. Cheers, buddy. Half a dozen trolls, and all rather incompetent. Oh, dear. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for that, my friend. See you all. Hopefully, I won't be so tired tomorrow. Toodaloo.